Wow, Dice Critties. G'day guys, this is Josh from Dice Critties, your friendly neighbourhood DM. Welcome to the first tutorial on the basics of getting a game started on Roll20. Timestamps are in the description below, as well as any links to our Facebook or anything like that as well. Feedback is definitely appreciated. Thank you. Now the first step, as always guys, is to create a game. Now we're on the first page. Now the first thing to do is obviously set up a name for your campaign. I'm sure you've got one in mind, but just erase that from your memory. Put in damn Dice Critties. It's imperative to the success of anything in your life is to put that name there. Now tags. These help the right players find your game when you're looking for more to join. Simple things like roleplay, tactics, and erotic roleplay. You sicko. Will in the long run help identify what your game is going to be about, and you can always change these anytime during the process. Now you see this big blue button saying I'm ready, create a game. Well, you're not ready, so don't create a game. Scroll down here where it says optional, choose a character sheet. What we're going to be doing is scrolling over down to the D&D 5e Roll20 selection. Now after all that, all you have to do is click I'm ready, create a game, because you are ready and you can definitely create that game now. Now this is the main homepage of your screen. First off, you can add a nice picture to represent your campaign. I'll be adding one in shortly and I think you'll appreciate it. It can either be a JPEG, a PNG or a GIF. You can drag and drop it from a folder, or you can choose it manually. Now the next section is playing. Now this will help players that are looking for groups, and if you've got your group listed up there, find the specific game that they want. So it's no use them wanting to play Pathfinder and you saying, oh, I'm only playing D&D 5e. Don't worry, you're right, they're wrong, but hopefully we can change their mind one day. But all you have to do is click on this, scroll down, and select D&D 5e. Now the next section is one of my favourites with Roll20, especially when playing with an international group. Whenever you set a time and date for your campaign on this page, it will adjust to where they are based, and it will tell you how many days away it is and how many hours away it is as well. So all you have to do is click and set the time that you'd like, and that will adjust for all of them. The next section is adding a description for your campaign. Now I use this as a beautiful timeline of everything that happens in each session, so people don't really have to take too many notes, and any new players that are coming in can see everything that's happened throughout the campaign as well. But you can honestly put whatever you'd like in here. It's fantastic for when you're recruiting people to say what the session's about and what you're after as a DM as well. Lastly, scrolling down are the game add-ons. Now, these add a little bit of flair and life to your game. All you have to do is click on this. You do need to purchase most of them off the marketplace. They're only about 2 or 3, maybe 4 Australian dollars. But when you do have them, I do recommend definitely getting the inspiration cards and the critical fail decks as well. They're quite fun. All you have to do is click on the one that you'd like to select and then add it to the game. Once you've added it and the screen's refreshed, all you have to do is click on the game add-ons and it will tell you what you have installed. You can remove them anytime you want, and it's quite simple and easy and user-friendly as well. Now that's how to navigate the main screen, but now we're going to be looking at the more back-of-house settings for the Roll20 page. So what we have to do is click here on settings, and then in the game settings section, it'll take you over to the next page. Now you're on the game setting page. Now this has plenty of options, and these are more tips and tricks and personal preferences that I like to set my games up before I even touch anything within the actual session. Now if you do something differently or want to play around with it, that's up to you, but this is just how I've always been doing it so far. Now the first thing on the list is public access to the game. I always say no, because the public suck. The next one is game background images. Now this is one of my favourites. You get an option of 3. I always like to choose field. Now this is what happens when you click on the field, and it makes this beautiful background for your campaign. Very welcoming and really illuminates all this beautiful, beautiful artwork. The next section is allowing players to import their own characters. This is great if they've pre-generated their own character for a certain one-shot that you're planning, or if you're jumping between characters in different campaigns as well. But you've always got control over the character, and they can always edit it within your campaign as well. Next we're looking at the game default settings, and opening up this, you'll find that it's got more to do with the pages that you open up. Now we'll be going through the pages and dynamic lighting and a lot of the player permissions on this, but typically when I'm setting up a game, I don't touch this. There's not really much to change. Every single page that I make will be very different, and I'm sure the same will be for you as well. Another one of my favourite features of Roll20 is allowing your players to access your compendium. Now, when you buy Xanathar's Guide or the Player's Handbook, you've only got access to it, and a lot of the Plus and Pro subscription features in-game, just like Charactermancer, which I'll be doing a separate tutorial on, is only accessible to you, or fully accessible to you as well. Now, allowing them to do this, you've only got 5, but honestly 5's all you need. Allowing them to do this gives them access to all the spells and magic items and full access to Charactermancer as well. So I really recommend it. If it's a group you hate, don't bother, stuff them. But if it's a group you really love and want to keep around, it's worth turning on. Moving down to the character sheet template, this is why we selected this at the very start of the tutorial. This D&D 5e Roll20 sheet will make your game nearly idiot-proof from your players. They're your players, so it's not always going to be idiot-proof, but this will make it easy to drag and drop spells, make the game much more fluid, and make everything very accessible for you as well. But the one thing that we're going to do on our end is select the NPC sheet. Now what this does is make every single character sheet a default NPC sheet for you. So you don't have to manually change it every time you're making a custom NPC. Just as a quick tip and a reminder, guys, when you do have the NPC button selected, it will make everything an NPC sheet. So when you are making new characters, all you have to do is create a new NPC sheet, scroll down, and then deselect the NPC button. That will make a new character sheet and accessible for all your players. The last few things that I do in the game settings is changing the role queries and the whisper roles to the GM. I always select role queries to advantage toggle and always change whisper to whisper toggle. What that does is create some beautiful buttons up the top of your players' character sheets and your NPC sheets, and from there on out they can select whisper, disadvantage, advantage, or nothing. The last 2 buttons to select are add Dex tiebreaker to initiative. What this does is make your turn order much neater, especially when you have 5 people rolling at 19 for their initiative. And the very last thing is show global save modifier. This makes your spellcasters show their spell save DC when they cast a spell that requires one, and this will make life much easier instead of them having to meander through their own character sheet every single time they cast a spell. Those are all the options that I use within this game setting page. There are plenty more and definitely worth looking through yourselves as well, but this is what I found within my time of Roll20 that I definitely require before starting a game. The next step is to save your changes. Once back at the home page, you are ready to start off your first game. Now, I hope this basic tutorial helped you out. I hope you got some little tips and tricks that Roll20 doesn't tell you that obviously as well, and I really hope it gives you a good head start for your first game as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope this tutorial helped you out. You can contact us or ask any questions in the comments or through our Facebook page in the description below. Special thanks to Dungeons & Dragons Australia's Facebook page, Australia's largest community of D&D enthusiasts, for helping support this page. They're great for all things D&D and even finding online groups to play with. Super special thanks to JessicArt for all of the art that you've seen in this video today. You can see her channel in the description below. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.